Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law and best friend that she overshadowed my wedding? Burner account. I, 29 female, am married to Nate, 29 male, and his sister, Denise, 29 female. We are all childhood friends, and I married Nate almost a year ago. Denise at this time was 7 months pregnant with their first child. Her husband is Wayne, 30 mil. Not too long after our reception started, Denise went into preterm labor. Wait, is this the overshadow that OP meant in the title? I hope not. Pregnancy up until this point was not high risk, so this was completely out of nowhere and stunned all of us. She understandably had to leave, like, duh, with Wayne to the hospital, and most of their side of the family left out of concern. She insisted we stay and have fun, and Lord knows Nate and I tried, but knowing that she was in unexpected high risk labor was at the forefront of our minds, and we made the difficult decision to end the reception about an hour and a half early and join them at the hospital. My nephew, Ben, was born that night, and we were all excited, but I'll admit Nate and I felt a bit miffed that our wedding day was kind of stolen by this event. So you want to start fighting with a newborn baby, a newborn baby about attention. We kept this to ourselves though, thank God, as this was obviously unplanned and it's cruel to put that on Denise and Wayne. But from that point on, nobody ever talked about our wedding, just baby Ben. What? Yeah, people don't really talk about weddings after. Only if the wedding is really bad, then people talk about it. But or if it is out of the ordinary, like a celebrity wedding, that's, that Crazy Rich Asian movie. Only in that extent. That's all. That's the only time people will really be talking about your wedding afterwards. If not, like, what else do you want people to be talking about? You're married. You're married. We're happy for you. Anyway, the times I think a relative mentioned our wedding can be counted on one hand. I get it. New additions to the family are ultimately more important, but my wedding day will never just be about my wedding. It will be about Ben, and whenever he comes up or I see him, I feel bitter because I'm reminded of what happened at the wedding. It's not like this baby came on purpose or he did something on purpose. This is quite petty, if I can. This is really petty. Yes, I know I'm jealous of a baby. Yes, at least you are able to acknowledge that. I feel like shit for it. Nate was like this too for a while, but grew out of it. I'm still working on it. Yeah, you need to talk to somebody if you're jealous of literally a newborn baby. Ben is turning 1 in 2 weeks, and that's all everyone is talking about. Not a peep about our anniversary. And people don't really talk about anniversaries. Like, nobody actually cares. I think it's always between the husband and the wife or the couple that they do something nice for themselves, and then maybe when they have children and the children are grown, then they can organize like a party for anniversary. If nobody cares about your wedding anniversary, for that matter. Like, for the wedding, yes, people will care about the wedding because they are going there, but anniversary, no. And to be honest, there's no how you want to talk about the birth of this child that they won't mention the wedding, because it's an out of the norm way she got into labor. Like, there's no how you're not going to get mentioned. Only if that's the problem. That's the only time your wedding is being mentioned is when they're talking about the baby. Only if that's the thing that annoys you. But even then, this is just something happy that happened. I just thank God that even though it was high risk pregnancy, we got both the mom and the child out. That's what she should be thanking God about. Not that a baby stole their limelight or shine because he was being born. This is hilarious. I already know I'll just be depressed and mopey while the whole time, so I asked if Nate could politely tell him I will not be there. He did, and Denise was pretty upset and demanded to know why. He refused, so she confronted me via text. She told me that she's picked up on how I seemed sad whenever Ben is mentioned and said I'm hurting her by not telling her why. I decided to be honest. Don't be honest, please. And tell her that I have been very depressed, not just for this issue, okay, but it's contributing, and that I felt that my wedding was overshadowed by her unexpected labor. As I said, the only thing you should be telling her is I'm happy that you came out of the labor room alive and the baby as well, since it was a high risk pregnancy. That's the only thing we need to be hearing from you. This is one time you shouldn't be honest and keep it to yourself. I did tell her I'm not mad at anyone because it was unplanned. I just need to not be reminded of it on my anniversary. You would definitely be reminded of it because he was born on your wedding day, and that it's your wedding doesn't mean nothing else was happening in the world. Like, it's not just one thing. The day was not ordained that only one thing can happen. She did not respond and just blocked me. But Wayne uninvited Nate and told him to keep him and I far away from his family. Nate's confused and I feel like shit. Am I the asshole? Yes, you are. You are the asshole. But let's see the comments. So the first comment, quoting, Ben is turning 1 in 2 weeks and that's all everyone is talking about. Not a peep about our anniversary. Well, yeah, that's just how things go. Your anniversary is an important date to you. But with all due respect, it doesn't really mean much to anyone else. You and your husband are the ones who are supposed to be giving each other attention on your wedding anniversary. You know that Denise didn't do anything to intentionally steal attention away from you. Neither did that baby. Grow up a bit. You are the asshole. 13,000 upvotes on that comment. Another comment. Maybe it's different with other families, but I've never known anyone other than the married couple themselves to really celebrate their anniversary. Occasionally, their kids at most. I think OP needs therapy. This is not normal or healthy. That's true. Not normal behavior at all. I had a friend get mad that two of her friends, didn't throw her and her husband a first anniversary party. I was flabbergasted. Literally, no one cares. No one cares. The amount of people who seem shocked that nobody else cares about their wedding beyond having fun on that day is astounding. Even for their 10th anniversary, they throw the party if they want a party. Literally, no one else cares, and it would definitely be weird if they did. Because how do you want somebody to be talking about the wedding? Like, and how long are you expecting us to be talking about this wedding? Do you know how many weddings will happen within 1 year? So how long are we supposed to be carrying your own wedding up and down? People have a huge misperception of how amazing their weddings are, or how amazing their weddings were. For most guests, it is essentially just a social obligation. I've never discussed a wedding for days or weeks after. Yeah, I think people are thinking that the wedding is bigger than what it is because this is one day that it is just them, like all the spotlight is on them, all the attention is on them. So I'm sure they are kind of misperceiving the whole situation and thinking that every other person had as much fun as they had in their own wedding. This makes sense a lot. My husband and I went to a wedding once where they had a dinner time reception without serving any food. So we still talk about that one occasionally since it sucked so bad. Other than that though, we don't talk about or celebrate other people's weddings. So it's only if it is that good, that good that we are flying everybody out. We're not paying for anything. Literally every single thing is paid. Everything is top notch. Or it is very bad that we can't but talk about how bad it is. Those are the only two. If you're somewhere in the middle, just accept that you are going to enjoy that day and every other person you're happy to see them. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tea with Torkwase. Here we serve you the hottest tea from the internet, from YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, and sometimes X. If that sounds like a vibe, please subscribe, and if you like this video, share it with your friend. Am I the asshole for walking out of my friend's wedding? Okay, so my friend has been planning her wedding for nearly 2 years and wanted me to be a bridesmaid. Some things have gone down over the last couple of years. A lot of her friends drifted apart. Some wouldn't be able to attend for medical reasons, and she fell out with a few. Out of the 9 bridesmaids she had originally planned, only me and 3 other girls were attending. Day of the wedding was hectic. Bride got overwhelmed, so myself and the other 3 bridesmaids basically whipped everything into order while she calmed down. Her hairstylist cancelled, so I reached out to a friend of mine and asked her if she could swing by last minute and help out. So I'm also a hairstylist, like a bridal hairstylist. So I have been called a number of times to step in when the original hairstylist cancels. And I know most times the brides are always very stressed because it takes a lot to actually sit down, have consultation with the brides. So yeah, they have already picked out. Sometimes you even have like a trial session with this bride, so they already have an idea of what they want, only for you to cancel on the day. So I can imagine I can imagine that the bride will be really frantic at this time, and I hope the other vendors didn't cancel as well, because that would be really really bad. She did her hair, and apparently the bride didn't like it. The bands she was using were coffee colored, not white. She didn't have white, and the bobby pins didn't match her hair color, and the ribbons weren't curled right. At one point, she said to my friend, "Are you an idiot?" And I'd heard enough. I understand that it was stressful, but there's no need to name call someone who got all of their equipment last minute and drove over 20 minutes to an event of someone they don't even know as a favor, not even paid, even though I offered. Yeah, there's no need for name calling. This is somebody that's it's helping. If you knew how to do it yourself, why didn't you do it yourself? This is someone that's helping you to like salvage what you have left of your day, and you're still calling her names. This is someone you don't even know from anywhere. You don't talk to people like that. Nobody cares if it's your wedding or not. That it's your wedding doesn't mean you behave badly. I told the bride she had to calm down and she couldn't speak to my friend that way, but instead she just ended up yelling at me as well. I told her we were all doing the best we could, and she called me pathetic and said it was outrageous that I'd be lecturing her on the most important and stressful day of her life. Your wedding day is not supposed to be this stressful. Like, if you've been planning your wedding for 2 years, why is it looking like you were just told yesterday that you were getting married? Why is everything haphazard? Why are the bridesmaids having to basically cut and join things to make it work? And why are you talking to them like that? If you don't want to go on with the wedding, then don't go on with the wedding. But you can't talk to people like this, regardless of whatever is happening. You can't talk to people like this. She said she had half a mind to cut me as a bridesmaid, and so I told her I'd save her the trouble and left. Yeah, just leave, because it doesn't seem like she has any manners. Even though if I was in this situation, I wouldn't have left, but would I? Yeah, I think I would have left. Either even if I'm a bridesmaid or I'm the hairstylist, I would have left. But my mind is also saying that she's definitely going through something. Like, I know the day is already hectic, but also, you remember how she had 9 bridesmaids and ended up being only 4 bridesmaids now. Maybe this has she had been talking to the other ones, and they decided that they don't have time for this, because people have to remember that you being a bridesmaid, you are investing a lot of your time and your money into this thing. It's not, most times the brides don't buy your dress, they don't pay for the makeup artist or a hairstylist. You cover that cost, and sometimes, yeah, and even the bridal shower, you're also paying for that. You're also chipping in for that. So it is you accepting to be somebody's bridesmaid. It's not just lip service. You are also putting a lot of work, and this person is your friend. So at the same time, you want to make sure that the wedding is as organized as possible. Much stress you can take away from the bride, you do take away. And I'm sure that's why this bridesmaid decided to call her friend, and like in the spirit of, yeah, we have to make this work, only for her to be talking to the bridesmaid like this, and even a stranger like this. Well, yeah, I think I've changed my mind. I'm going, definitely not. The aftermath was insane. I had the other three bridesmaids calling me to tell me that I was an asshole and was so selfish that I couldn't put up with a little attitude for a few hours because she was stressed. No, this is not a little. She was literally insulting them. Are you an idiot? There's no other. Only your mom is the next insult after "Are you an idiot?" So this is not an attitude situation. And I'm happy that the bride had three other people that could stay and be like eating that nonsense while I'm happy she still had three people to talk to in this whole wedding thing out of 9. Bride called me crying about how I betrayed her and how horrible of a friend I am. Bride's mother, who didn't previously have my phone number, called me to tell me how disgusted she was at my attitude, and even my boyfriend says I could have sucked it up and it was a total asshole move to walk out like that. What do you guys think? Would you have stayed or would you have walked out? I'm kind of in the middle, to be honest. Being somebody that has been bridesmaids for a number of weddings and also being a hairstylist that have been in the wedding industry for a while, I'm kind of in the middle. But what do you guys think? Would you have stayed or would you have left? My stance was that, high stress or not, I don't feel like she should be calling my friend names, and don't think she should be calling me pathetic. I actually forgot about that. Stress isn't an excuse to talk down to someone, in my opinion, especially people who are trying to help you. But I could be wrong. So I guess, was she acting like a bridezilla? I thought she was, or am I the asshole? This one, I really want to know the response you guys have. Is she the asshole for this? Well, to me, I think OP is not the asshole. You shouldn't be in a space where you are not wanted, because the bride said, "Oh, I have a mind to send you away." Why would you even want to say that to somebody? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that kind of thing to another person. Like, this OP could have been a million other places enjoying herself that day, but no, she decided to come here to support her friend. She turned to the wedding planner with no costs. She got a hairstylist, and she was even wanting to pay from her own pockets to the hairstylist. And nah. She is definitely not the asshole. So let's read the comments. First comment, not the asshole. Someone came last minute and helped her for free, and she had the audacity to act like that. Stress or not, that was unacceptable. I hope your friend left too. And OP says, yes, she gave me a lift home. Another comment, not the asshole, and there's a reason she started with 9 and ended up with 3. That's very true. And OP responded, I'd personally never gotten that attitude from her before. I was gobsmacked. And then a response to that as well. A good life lesson. Watch carefully how people treat others, because one day there is a strong likelihood that they will treat you that way as well. Not the asshole. You are never an asshole for refusing to accept abuse. The way you go about the refusal can make you one, but in your case, all you did was remove yourself from the situation. You did nothing wrong. Another response to that, choosing distance over disrespect is a great way to deal with abuse and toxicity. I cannot pronounce that word to save my life. It's a way to set clear boundaries without making a scene on your end. Actually, that also makes sense, because she could have decided to stay there and exchange words with the bride, and that would have made it even worse. So I think it's just best that she just excuse herself. If the bride thought that she was so useless and pathetic, then she will not be missed in the wedding in that case. Sounds like over half the bride's friends chose distance for a good reason during those 2 years. And yes, OP, not the asshole. And the last comment, I bet you $10 the hairstylist didn't just randomly cancel either. That's also a possibility, because sometimes when I get calls from Instagram or TikTok, or like phone calls wanting to book me for, I feel the vibe from the bride. There's a difference between someone talking because they are panicking for one reason or the other, and when somebody is just a bad person normally. Like, I feel, when I feel the vibe that this person is going to give me a lot of headache, I will be like, no matter how much you want to give me, I'd rather be sleeping in my bed than to be stressed, additional stress. Because normally weddings are stressful environment for vendors, because you have to perform. This is your stage, you have to perform. So I don't want you to give me unnecessary stress in addition to the work I'm doing as well. So this bride, maybe the hairstylist also felt the same bad vibes when this bride called and decided to cancel. But canceling last minute is what is part that I will not, I don't think is right for whatever reason. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.